medical model, it's really a challenging thing, because here's what they do. So now they're starting to realize that people don't want to go to there, just don't want to go there. And so what they're trying to do now is put more pressure on people to go see a doctor or to get a particular test for a condition that happens between a certain age range. So now you're seeing like, oh, if you're over 40 years old or 50 years old, if you're a man, you got to get a prostate exam. You got to get your PSA tested. If you're a woman over the age of whatever, you got to people in. Because as soon as they can get someone hooked in, it's like a whirlpool, right? It's like, all our lives, most of our lives, we're healthy, we're happy. But then you start getting hooked in to this weird, bizarre world that is the medical mainstream media. And what they're trying to do is they're fishing for customers. That's what they're trying to do. And so they try to hook you in, say, oh, if you're 40, if you're 50 and you're a man, you should start getting a PSA. You should start getting your prostate examined. If you're a woman, you should start making sure that you're getting regular mammograms, your yearly OBGYN treatments, all these things, right? And so they're completely arbitrary and they're completely unnecessary, in my opinion. Now, I may be wrong, but in my opinion, it's very possible to live a long, healthy, disease-free life and never go to a doctor if you take care of yourself. And so what they're trying to do is they're fishing for customers. And when you start doing that and people start going, then the doctor starts putting things in your mind and telling you this, that, or the other. And it happens too, by the way, with natural doctors as well. So just know that if you're listening to this, you are in control of your health more than a naturopathic doctor, more than anybody else. You know your body better than anybody. But naturopathic doctors are guilty, in my opinion, of this as well. And that is to get you to continue to see them. Because from a mainstream perspective, what they're trying to do is disempower you and make you feel like you are not in control of your biology. And then they start implanting things in your head and saying that, just little subtle comments. And look, like next time you're at the doctor, look for the little subtle comments that they're saying to you that are disempowering and designed to make them and their research and their knowledge something that you need to look for in order for you to be healthy. And so that's one of the issues, is that we're all on the outskirts of that whirlpool, and then you get sucked in. And once you start going, then it's downhill from there, in my opinion, because you start taking a medication. Like this article doesn't say get off the medication that could be causing your cancer or a cancer. It says go talk to your doctor, right? Go talk to your doctor. That's the whole line of all those commercials, right? Go talk to your doctor, because your doctor is going to be the one that's going to save you. Your doctor is going to be the one who's going to do things for you that you can't do for yourself. And if you believe that, then you're living in a disempowering state. And so that's why, and if you're on a medication, now you're under the doctor's care, and you fall within that guideline of your doctor's responsibility for you. So if you're on a medication, I wouldn't advise anyone that's on a medication to just get off of them, right? Once you're hooked, once you're on a medication, then in my opinion, what you should do is work with a really knowledgeable naturopathic doctor as well as your and if you can't find a medical doctor who wants to get you off the medication, search around until you do. Find someone that will slowly taper you off, and then a naturopathic doctor is going to support you with your biology with certain doctors altogether. That's just what I would do. Take responsibility. And so when you're going to a medical doctor and you're under their jurisdiction, they have a certain standard of care that they have to live by. And if they don't follow that, then their license will be revoked. So it's away from them. So that's why it's really important to don't let yourself get into that weird world to begin with. Take care of your health. Do the things that you know that are healthy for you. Get in your sauna every day. Do your coffee enemas. That's one thing I'm going to get back to. I'm going to get back to doing regular coffee enemas. Skin brushing, oil pulling in the morning, stretching, jumping on a rebounder, doing your detoxification, drinking your water, doing a little bit of intermittent fasting. All of these things are going to be tremendous. Doing your juicing, making your medicinal mushroom teas, making your bone broth this time of year. All these things are really, really tremendous. Managing your light environment, that was probably the biggest thing. Making sure to optimize your sleep. These are like the biggest things that you could do to optimize your health. And if you do these things, you can actually go your whole life and never be on a medication. The last time I was in a doctor's office years ago, this was like 15 years ago. What am I, 42 now? So I was, 30 or 28 or 27. They were shocked that I wasn't on a medication. They asked me what drugs I'm on or what medications I'm taking. I said none. And at 27 years old, what 27-year-old should be on a medication anyway, right? But when I said none, she was like shocked that I wasn't on any meds. The doctor we had on just a couple days ago, Dr. Bob Demaria, he has been in practice for 40 years and has never once prescribed a medication for something he was able to fix with the client through the use of natural means. So what I'm saying and what I'm advocating for all of us to do, me included, because we live in a busy world, we don't have a lot of times, we cycle on and off things. I might cycle off doing coffee enemas for a while and do the sauna more, or vice versa, or, there's different things that we can all do to help our health. But I'm speaking to myself as well. Adopting some of these practices in our life is very important because, like I was saying in the Instagram story I did yesterday, I was doing a workout last night. I didn't want to do it. It was starting to get dark. I didn't have any light on because, working out under blue light's more damaging than not working out at all. And I was just imploring you guys to keep up your self-care practices. Like, you're worth it. All of you guys listening in the chat room, like, you're worth it. You have family and friends that rely on you. You have brothers and sisters that care for you, and sons and daughters that need you to be around, healthy and happy and vibrant, energetic. And the world at large needs you as well. Like, the amount of good that you guys are all doing, people that are listening to this are doing to help make the world a better place. Like, you're worth it. All of us are worth it to take care of ourselves. And it's not selfish to go and get a massage, because massage is one of the most incredible things you can do for your lymphatic system, for cleansing and detox. It's not just a feel-good thing. It's not self-indulgent or selfish to do these things. Like Dr. Cruz said, if you're not good enough for yourself, who are you good for? Right? Who are you good for if you're not good enough for yourself? It's the age-old example they give on planes is for the mom and dad to put their oxygen masks on first before they, try to help other people. And that's the thing that we in our culture are constantly helping other people. But the biggest way that you could help other people is to take care of yourself so that you have the energy, you have the right mind, you have the desire, you have the wherewithal to have the resources to help those around you. And so that's why I just implore you guys, keep up with your self-care practices, even if it's not something you want to do. I think it's really, really important for all of us to make sure that we don't demonize it in a way that's like selfish or self-indulging or anything like that. We really look at it as something that we do that helps us with our health and helps us be better people. It's really ultimately what it's all about. Let me check out what you guys are chit-chatting around in the chat room here. It looks like a lot of people have dropped off. I'm not sure if we're still broadcasting or not. Let's see. Are you guys still in the chat room? I think so. Jojo Bach, it's good to have you here too. Awesome. Julia, good to have you here. This is cool. Kay Ceo's kid. Half-truth disinformation. Allopathic care, integrative care, as long as there's dysfunctional capitalism involved, it will never help anyone. All these people think well, I need to make a living. Yeah, that's true. Let's see here. Julia says, mainstream medicine couldn't diagnose me or heal me. I am healing with food, natural substance, and no meds for years. That's awesome. That is really great. Julia, what's going on with you that you, or what's going on with your body, I should say, that you're currently healing from? I'm curious. Big wigs, where to start? Okay. Let's see here. Barbara, energy medicine. Oh, Barbara Eden, energy medicine. Okay, I'll look her up. Let me look her up really quickly so that I can invite her on the show, because she sounds like she could be pretty interesting person. Okay, so I'm going to share with you this interesting article here, if you guys are still watching. But this is an interesting article that a guest of ours sent me privately recently. This shows here that it says, a Civil War study shows fathers' stress affects a son's lifespan. Let me grab a sip here. It's good. It's part of the growing field of human epigenetics. It may be hard to imagine a link between the Civil War and the science of heredity, but a provocative new study of the offspring of Union soldiers adds to a growing body of evidence that suggests that traumatic events experienced, by one generation can have a profound effect on the next generation. It's all part of the growing field of human epigenetics, which examines how our health is shaped by interactions between DNA and our environment. The study, based on an analysis of National Archives, records of Civil War prisoners of war and their families, turned up stories like those of Elsie Sloan and John Lawson, who survived captivity in the notorious Andersonville prison in Georgia, where crowding, starvation, and poor sanitation were rampant. Wow. The findings show that the sons of Union soldiers who were held in Confederate prisons had shorter lifespans than those sons of soldiers who avoided imprisonment. But if the research turned up heartbreaking stories, it also showed that some sons of the POWs had normal lifespans, perhaps because their mothers were well nourished during pregnancy. This suggests that it's possible to mitigate the effects of privation in subsequent generations, a message as relevant today as it was in the 19th century. Quote, what happens to your ancestors can determine what happens to you, but the effects are reversible, says Dora Costa, an economist at the University of California, Los Angeles, and lead author of a paper about the research that was published on October 15th in the Journal of Proceedings of the National Academy of Scientists. It's not destiny. Pretty interesting, right? For the research, Costa and her collaborators combed through the records of nearly 20,000 children of Union soldiers from the Civil War, which was fought from 1861 to 1865. The researchers looked at the lives of men in three groups: sons of POWs whose imprisonment had been especially brutal, sons of POWs whose imprisonment had been less extreme, and sons of Union soldiers who had avoided imprisonment altogether. A striking pattern emerged. Of the sons who lived at least to the age of 45, those in the unlucky first group had a 9% higher probability of dying in any given year than those in the second group, and an 11% higher probability of dying than sons fathered by men who hadn't been captured. The early deaths were caused mostly by stroke and cancer, according to the researchers. So this is fascinating stuff, right? I mean, fascinating stuff that our family line is very, very much tied to our current journey. And Kate and I were having this conversation the other day about this idea that somehow, like in the Bible, it talks about in the book of Hebrews, I think, that we on earth are entertaining what is called, quote, a great cloud of witnesses. And it's the idea that, like, there are other entities and other beings that are around us. And so that's like in the book of Hebrews. But what's interesting to me is that we are inextricably linked and tied to our family lineage. And so is it possible that if you get sick, or if your body gets sick, if my body gets sick, is it possible that it's not just me who has this sickness, or it's not just me that has this illness? Our whole family does. Our whole line does. All of us as a tribe get to go through this together. And so we've lost that in our culture. We think, oh, I have a cold, I have a flu. But realizing in those, in a weird, bizarre way, that our family 3 to 4 generations before us and 3 to 4 generations after us, there is no time, right? We all live in this linear existence, but from a quantum mechanics point of view, there's no such thing as time. So as a family, we're dealing with XYZ. Instead of just plucking me out and making me think that I'm some separate thing from my family and that I am going through this sickness and this illness alone, in reality, we're going through it as a family. And so understanding that is in and of itself is healing, you know. Awareness by itself is healing. And awareness by itself is transformative, you know. If you're walking around with a sack of rocks on your shoulder, I think I heard someone mentioning this recently, and you're walking around and you're just sloughing this bag of rocks over your shoulder. You're trying to, walk around. It's making you tired and all this stuff, and you're getting really, really exhausted by it. All it takes is not for someone to come up to you and say, "Hey, stop doing that," or "Let me make it easier for you to do that," or "Let me help you with that," or anything else. "Let me give you a back massage so that you can carry the rocks more." It's, "Hey, you're carrying a bag of rocks. Like, look in your bag of rocks and look in there and see that it's just rocks." And then all you need to do is have that awareness, and that changes your mind. So then you start walking around thinking, like, what do I need these rocks for? I don't need to carry a bag of rocks. Like, I have no need for rocks, but I don't need to be told that. All I need to do is have the awareness of what I'm actually doing. And the awareness itself is transformative, is transformational, is healing. And so that's why in quantum mechanics, you look at all these double slit experiments they do with photons and light beams, and trying to figure out if a light particle is going to act as a particle or as a beam. And, if you observe the situation, the light particle knows this, has some kind of weird consciousness about it, and acts according to your observation of it. And so it will actually go to a different part of the experiment to go through a different slat if it knows that you're looking. And so all of this stuff, when you look at something and bring light to it and bring awareness to it, that's where the healing starts. And so that's why it's really important for all of us to realize that, like, it's not just us going through a sickness or an illness. It's our whole family, and we're going through it as a group and as a tribe and as a family unit. And there's a lot of power in that, in my opinion. So let's see. It's chit chat with you guys in the chat room. I did try potato juice a few years back, Jojo said. Beck says, "Jojo, I'm also in the academy. What I understand, you can hook up with Dr. B when they do a Q&A. Otherwise, Justin will help you along with members in the academy. Lots of helpful people." Yeah, lots of cool people in the academy. Thanks, Rebecca. Let's see, Big Wigs. "I just feel I'm desperate need for help. I don't know where to start." Cool people. Big Wigs. Big Wicks. What can we help you with? What can we help you with? Maybe as a group in the chat room, we can all help each other. Jojo, it says here, "Thank you, Rebecca. I need to learn how to navigate there." By the way, just to let you guys know, it's pretty cool, Jojo and Beck. We're working on a really cool thing for the academy. For those that aren't aware, so in the academy, we do a weekly Q&A mastermind with Dr. John Bergman. I think we do that like twice a month. And then we do a members hangout where we answer your questions live. And then there's courses and quick tips videos and all kinds of stuff. What we've been able to do is now categorize every answer that we've ever had, and we're building a database that will be super easy for you guys to search through and find out, let's say you're looking for osteoporosis, or let's say you're looking for osteoarthritis, or let's say you're looking for something like headaches, or EMF, or blue light, or liver health, or whatever. Macular degeneration, glaucoma. We have everything now categorized in this big database that we're doing. So now we're trying to figure out a way to display all the answers really easily so that you can really find the answers to all of your health questions. So that's something that's probably going to be released in the next couple months, but we're working on it. So it's really cool. I'm really excited about it. So, K Skio Skid says, I wish you all health and love. I was born just your average kid. Whoops, your comment went away. I was born just your average kid with a lot of dysfunctional behavior in my family, and so many of us are all I can say is try to learn a little bit about everything. Yeah. You know what? I would recommend, if I were you, Skio Kid, if you have a lot of issues with what's going on in your family, I would recommend doing a consultation with Dr. Richard Massey. He does family constellation work as well as recall healing, and he might be able to help you a lot, bring some insight into some healing some of the traumatic, things and events that might have happened in your family. Really great guy, friend of the show, friend of ours. We're gonna go see him again in a couple months in Texas. Jojo Bach says, Jojo Bach, that's so cool here. Okay. Who do I need to talk to guide me with eating food? Well, that's a big question. Fibromyalgia. Okay. Beck says, I just joined the Academy in September and have not listened to all the shows and courses. Lots of stuff there. Or if you could ask questions, someone will share a video. Most of the time, it's Justin who helps. Yeah, thanks, Beck. I appreciate that. I do my best. I'm in the forums just about every day there at the Extreme Health Academy. You're an Animal says, Jojo, in my coffee smoothies, I include a range of digestive enzymes. I hydrate first in the morning, have a coffee smoothie, around 3 or 4 hours of walking, and then one meal. I love having a coffee smoothie. That's so great. That's awesome. Jeff Burton says, while we work out, what to do with ourselves? Spray a little colloidal silver under the tongue? While we work out. You mean during exercise? Okay. Blue light filtering, anti-reflective, anti-glare, with magnification, hard to find. So the Ask Mama channel, so you're looking at blue light filtering it's not reflective, with no glare, with magnification. I bet that would be hard to find. Oh, glasses. Oh, you know what? You know what I would do is go on to, let's see, Blue Blocks in our store, as well as, does Raw Optics, are they doing custom? You can buy fit over glasses. True Dark has fit over glasses as well. And you can just pop those right over your prescription glasses. So that would be the way to go. Dr. Morse. Yeah, he's going to be on the show. Going back and forth with him. Dr. Robert Morse. He's an awesome guy. He does a lot of work with herbs and cleansing and detox. Dr. Sebi and his teachings, I know he does a lot of work with the mucusless diet, I believe, right? Dr. Sebi. I'm not too familiar with him. I'm somewhat familiar with him. You don't want fit over glasses. They hurt your nose. I know that Raw Optics and Blue Blocks, they'll work with you with glasses. If you tell them what you're looking for, I bet you they can make it. They've done custom stuff for me. So, yeah, Dr. Sebi's a cool guy. Cool guy. Yeah. If you go through our store, I would appreciate that. You don't have to, but if you like the work that we do and want to support our work, we have their stuff available in our store, and that helps keep the show free and pay for all this stuff that we're doing. Let's see here. Is there anything else to share with you? I feel like I've got a lot to share with you that I haven't really got to. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing good. It sounds like you guys are doing really, really great. Thanks for being here on today's show. It's kind of a weird show that we did kind of impromptu. I got a lot to share, and so because we didn't have our guest on, I decided to do this. Anyway, I just love hanging out with you guys, and it's really, really cool. The Ask Mama channel says too heavy. So yeah, I know what you mean. These ones I have on now are from Raw Optics, and I think they used to do custom ones. So you can actually buy like a custom frame, and they'll put the actual lens in for you. I think Blue Blocks might do that as well. I don't know. Anthony says all symptoms from acidosis. So if you look at the show we did a good show with, what is his name? Dr. Darren Schmidt, I think, on our YouTube channel. And he talked about lactic acidosis, which is basically dirty blood. And he talked about some supplements that he found that actually cures and helps reverse lactic acidosis. And according to him and his research, no one's really talking about the lactic acidosis, dirty blood, and how it's implicated in like over 100 different disease models. So you might want to look at the show that we did with Dr. Darren Schmidt if you're interested in cleaning up your blood. Specific vitamins. I won't tell you what they are because it's interesting, and you can get these vitamins at your health food store, which is cool, or on Amazon. So something you might want to consider doing. Listen to that show with Dr. Darren Schmidt about lactic acidosis. Wraparound clip-on blue blockers. Yeah, you know what, Bob? I wear the ones from TrueDark that are wraparound, but they're not clip-on. So I wear those. Those are the red ones that block out all green and all blue. And I wear that in the evening. They're wraparound, but they're not clip-on. Adriana says, hey, Justin, what time is your next live video on Friday? Yeah, that's with who is that? Dr. Kaayla Daniels? That's going to be at 10:45 a.m. Pacific time. So 10:45, 11, 12, 1:45 a.m. or p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Burdock root is good for the blood, says Anthony. Okay, cool. Unfortunately, we're not really like on time. I don't know why. It's really challenging to get on time with the show. So typically it's like always a couple minutes late. So it would be awesome to see Brittany Auerbach on the show. She's helped me a lot with my health journey. Okay. Brittany Auerbach. Is she like a nutritionist? If I just search her name, will I find something on Google? Let's try it out. Brittany Auerbach. Okay. Montreal Healthy Girl. Okay, cool. I'll look at her stuff for sure. If you guys want, also too, if you go over to our Instagram, I did a video asking you guys to tag these different people, and it would be really great because I'm going to go over there and sort of pull all of those people that we can get on our show and to help you guys. Big Wicks, I'm looking for support and motivation, just going through postpartum depression, constantly sad, and I just want out. Wow. Man, there's so many things that we could do for that, that's possible for that. So many things. I don't want to tell you to join the academy, but I tell you, I mean, that's where we spend a lot of our time, and I can put together protocols for you and different, ideas for you to play with. Bob Dylan says, just saving up for the TrueDark Night Fitovers. Yeah, you know what? We're going to be buying another pair of those today. Bob, if you go to Bob Dylan, I just love, that can't be your real name, right? You got to have it's got to be just a stage name. But yeah, I'm glad you're here because I see you a lot, so it's cool. Can't forget that name. But yeah, we are connected. So if you go to the TrueDark is on our Black Friday page. Let me put that. There's a sale on those right now. extremehealthradio.com/Black Friday. I think I have TrueDark listed there as well. And I don't think I have Raw Optics on there, but I should put that on there as well. But yeah, we're going to buy one. I think they're like 30% off right now for the Black Friday deal, which is cool. So we're going to buy a pair ourselves. Is it 20 or 30% off? I forget. David Burns' book, Feeling Good, a lot of stuff on YouTube. David Burns. I think we're going to have him on the show. That name sounds familiar, Chris. I think we reached out to him already. David Burns. I have to look at his website. Yeah, I love to see Dr. Bergman. He's so far from me. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the Academy does cost money. It's $20 a month. Right now it's $19.99 a month. But I'm telling you guys, there is some really good resources in there that can help. Like in a thing like this, it's really hard to kind of put together a full protocol or put together a lot of different ideas. But in the academy, we can lay everything out in the forums. And so, you know what? Let me put a link in case you could get a trial here. Let me put a link so you can get a free trial here, so that if you're www.extremehealthacademy.com, and then the EHR 14 will give you a free 14-day trial if you guys want to check that out, any of you guys. Dr. Tent on YouTube. Okay, cool. Chris, we're going to have him on the show as well. He's already scheduled, I think. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to head out here. It's time for me to break my fast. I've been fasting since last night at around 7 o'clock p.m. It's now about 1:15 p.m. So I brought my little apple here. Our guest yesterday was saying half a red apple a day is incredibly beneficial. Make sure too, when you eat the apple, eat the seeds. Eat the seeds of the apple. Vitamin B17, Laetrile. Look it up. Very, very important. We're meant to eat the whole thing, not just the apple. Or the seeds are there to be consumed. All right, guys. Well, I love you very much. This was episode 634. If you're listening on the podcast, if you guys are on the chat room, do us a favor if you could. We'd appreciate it. If you go over to iTunes and leave us a rating and a review, that would help us tremendously. That would be really, really great. We're trying to get more subscribers on iTunes, and the way they do that is as they look at your ratings and your reviews and your subscriptions. So we'd appreciate that. If I don't talk to you, well, I guess I won't, because tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so we'll talk on Friday. Hopefully you guys are going to be around with Dr. Kaayla Daniel. We'll be talking about pharmaceutical drugs and the human body and all that good stuff. It's going to be a great show. All right, guys. Love you guys so much. If you're in the academy, I'll probably be in there later today, so make sure to tag me, and we can chit-chat about some good stuff. And I love you guys very, very much. And I will talk to you guys Friday at 10:45 a.m. Pacific time. And we'll talk to you soon. Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone. And there's lots to be thankful for. So just remember that. And I love you all. And we'll see you on Friday at 10:45.
No material on this blog is intended to suggest that you should not seek professional medical care. Always work with qualified medical professionals, even if you educate yourself in the field of live food, nutrition, and alternative medicine. I'm not a doctor, nor am I offering readers medical advice of any kind. None of the information offered here should be interpreted as a diagnosis of any disease, nor an attempt to treat or prevent any disease or condition. While information in this blog is discussed in the context of numerous conditions, it can be dangerous to take action based on any information in this blog or to start any health program without first consulting a health professional. The content found here is for informational purposes only and is in no way intended as medical advice, as a substitute for medical counseling, or as a treatment/cure for any disease or health condition, and nor should it be continued as such. Always work with a qualified healthcare professional before making any changes to your diet, prescription drug use, lifestyle, or exercise activities. This information is provided as is, and the reader/viewer assumes all risks from the